Chapter 3. Time for Pass the Parcel, boomed Dad, who had put on a pair of snazzy sunglasses to protect his eyes from the morning light. It was still very early for him to be awake. Vampires usually sleep through the day. "You all know the rules, don't you?" he shouted. "Of course we do, we're humans." Then he produced a big parcel from behind his back. "Everyone in the circle, please," he said. My friends and I shoved ourselves into the circles onto the floor, and Dad gave the parcel to one of the children. "There you are," he said. "Pass it round." We all started to pass the parcel round in the circle, but something was missing. "Music!" I whispered to Dad. "We need music!" "Music!" shouted Dad to Mom. Mom opened her mouth and started to sing a twinkly fairy song. I felt my face go red with embarrassment. Some of my friends started to giggle. "That's right," called Dad. "Pass it round. Round and round it goes." The parcel went round and round the circles, and round again. I started to wonder when Mom was going to stop singing. I was about to whisper to Dad again when suddenly there were an automatically bang! "Surprise!" shouted Dad as the parcel exploded in Oliver's hands. Fireworks shoot out of it and up into the air. Glittery pink sparkles and sparkling fizzing stars swirled and whirled around the room. "Oh no," I said to Pink Rabbit, but my friends didn't seem to mind. In fact, they seemed to like it. They all stood up and started dancing to Mom's song under the falling sparkles. "They're so pretty," breathed Joe as she tried to catch the shooting star. "It's magical," yelled Sashi. Everyone danced until the sparkles stopped falling and Mom stopped singing. "Time for the magician," announced Dad, opening the door for Wilbur. He swept in, swishing his starry robes. "It's Wilbur the Great, actually," cried Wilbur. "Sit down, everyone," he said, bossy. "Today, I'm going to show you a wonderful trick. Who wants to be turned into a box of frogs?" I groaned. A boy from my class called Bruno put his hand into the air, and Wilbur gestured to Bruno to come and stand out for it. Wilbur rolled his sleeves, closed his eyes, and puffed out of the chest importantly. Then he pointed his finger at Bruno. "Alakazam banana," he said. There were a loud bang and a puff of pink smokes. Bruno disappeared, and in his place stood a large cardboard box. There were loud croaking sounds from inside. "Wow," said all my friends. "Amazing! It's like real magic," said Oliver. We all watched as the frog started to jump out of the box. Wilbur looked very pleased with himself. "Look at them all," squeezed Zoe as the frog started to hop across the room. "Ew," said Amanda. "I hate slimy frogs." "What's next?" asked Wilbur, who wanted to see me pulled a rabbit from my hat. Everyone cheered, except Pink Rabbit, who looked very worried. Wilbur put on some thick gloves. "Just a case it bites," he said, winking. Everyone laughed. "Wilbur," I called out wordly. "What about Bruno?" What about him? Said Wilbur, starting to put his gloved hand into his hat. Shouldn't you turn back him now? I asked. Wilbur looked surprised. Oh, he said. Yeah, well, yes, I suppose I should. He took his head down onto the hat, holding a white fluffy rabbit. That's not a rabbit, shouted Oliver, laughing. That's a rat! All my friends were laughing now. They thought Wilbur has allergies. Oh, said Wilbur, disappointed. So it is. Wilbur! I shouted. You need to turn Bruno back into a boy. All right, said Wilbur, looking annoyed. You all have to catch the frog through. If you forgot one, then Bruno might be back missing an ear or something. My friends and I went off to search under the frogs. We can't send Bruno home with only one ear, I wailed. Let me help, said Mom, holding her wand up into the air. But Wilbur didn't want any help. No, he said. I can't do it. At least all the frogs were crowded back into the box. We all stared expectantly at Wilbur. He seemed a little bit nervous. Everyone stared at me, he ordered. It put me off. Wilbur turned around so that he had his back to everyone and waved his arms about our beds. We all waited. There were a few loud bangs and a loud smokes, but eventually Bruno appeared. Rabbit, he said. Oops! Oh, hang on, said Wilbur. He waved his hand again and said some more magic words. Bruno blinked and looked confused, but this time when he opened his mouth, words came out instead of croaks. That was awesome, he said. I breathed a sound of relief. Phew. Thank goodness for that, said Dad, swooping in. I think it's time for the next activity. But I hadn't finished my show, Uncle Bartholomew, said Wilbur crossly. I think you have, said Dad firmly. I think we will move on to the bouncy castle now. I felt my surprise rise. A bouncy castle? Surely nothing would be wrong with that. There was still time for my party to be like a prepared human one.